And we are back here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates, bringing you the latest in education, I should say. I'm thankful that Miss Aviana Alleyne is here with us. She's the head tutor and CEO of Team Elevate. So good morning to you, Miss Alleyne.
Good morning to you and good morning to all of Tobago.
All right, so you know I have to get used to saying Miss Alleyne because she is the head tutor. You are speaking to, I don't want to say the biggest and the baddest. That's wrong, right? Because I don't think, and Miss Baddest is not a word.
It's not.
It's not a word. So I will not be using that word, but I'm here speaking to one of the best, who is from Team Elevate, who is the head, who is the CEO of Team Elevate. So Aviana, who is Team Elevate?
So Team Elevate is an English institution for S.E.A. and S.E.A. creative writing, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And we are now launching into something called the late school, which we will delve further into in this segment. Now, at Team Elevate, the reason why I specifically chose the name for this organization is because we at Team Elevate, we foster a sense of team, camaraderie, and brotherhood and sisterhood. What I try to instill in my students is that it's not a competition. We are all here to achieve the same goal. Your strength, somebody's weakness. Your weakness, somebody's strength. So work on each other's strengths and weakness and help each other, because at the end of the day, we are all here for the same goal and the same purpose. So which is why I think that it is important that we hone in on those particular characteristics. And while I was formulating Team Elevate, that is something I really wanted to set apart my educational institution apart from the rest.
All right, so you just piqued my interest. You said that it's a teamwork initiative, as in someone else's strengths, maybe someone else's weakness.
Most definitely.
What type of structure do you have for your classroom? How does your tutoring go?
Okay, so I have online and I have in-person classes. So online would be for persons who, because of their hectic schedules, especially for S.E.A. students, we know that they have a lot of classes throughout the week. So during the weekends might be their only free time or downtime that they may be able to, have that class. So that's online, that's one aspect. I also offer physical classes to persons, especially those who are in standard 4, who are not quite there yet, who may have a little bit more leeway where time is concerned, so that they can have that in-person class. So online and in person.
All right, so you touched on the late school. And of course, Team Elevate already has established those C classes. You mentioned that they can start from standard 4.
Yes.
What is actually the earliest time that the C students could start? And what ages do you cater to for the late school?
All right. So we're going to start off with the S.E.A. So standard 4, you're about age 10. So I would say age 10 to 12 for S.E.A. classes. And for the late school is specifically geared towards persons who has just finished high school or you're an adult. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes life doesn't just go the way that you want it to. So it's just a second chance at life. And the reason why I initiated or I conceptualized the late school, because I felt that, apart from having a second chance, most persons, they believe that, okay, while I was in high school, that, due to whatever circumstances would have happened, I may not have gotten C.S.E.C. English A. But because of the ad that I have put out, I must say that I have to applaud persons, because it takes growth and maturity and accountability to know that, okay, I did not attain my C.S.E.C. English A, and now I am making the amends to get my CSEC English A to help me to advance to that later stage in life. So whether it be job elevation, to get to university, to enter a course, to do whatever it is. So that's basically what Team Elevate is about. And also with the late school, it's online. And the reason why I specifically chose online, because during 8 to 4, most adults, we have to work. We have to take care of our kids. We have to do all the things that life has thrown at us. And after doing all of that, you know, the late school would obviously be at night. So if you know that the late school is at night, you know that you will set up your schedule in such a way, okay, I know I have the late school at, let's say, just giving like a example time, 8 p.m. I get home from work, take a cute little nap, do what I need to do, and get myself ready for the late school. So it's specifically online, so you don't have to leave your house. You can throw your eye on your kids. You can cook dinner if you need to. You can do everything that you need to without leaving the house. If you're working a shift job, you're at the grocery, you could put in your headphones, you could use whatever device you're using and you can be tuned in. You can even be on your bed, the comfort of your home, tuning in to and learning English A, which is why I specifically chose for it to be online.
Okay. All right. So in terms of how long would one have to study for English A? How long would the late school cater to that person for them to have to do the exam in May or June or January?
Okay, so I'm glad that you mentioned that point. So some persons would want to do the exam in January and some would want to do it in June. But for some persons who would have been out of the educational limelight for like 20 plus years, I would highly recommend them to not rush and try to do it in January, because it's like a learning curve. So I would recommend them to take their time and to aspire for June. Now, if there is something that you need to accomplish, or there's a course, or there's something that you need to do that's time specific or has a time constraint, then I would recommend January. But with January, that means that you have to apply the pressure. So yes, that's basically my advice to persons who would be doing exams in May or June. So you have to know exactly what goal that you want to attain, and you have to be realistic with yourself as well. You have to be realistic with yourself.
All right. So what are some of the accomplishments that Team Elevate has accomplished? I mean, you're saying that you cater to C students to help them get ready for the C exam that happens around
March, April. So it depends on where the term falls.
Right. So what are some of the accomplishments? What are your statistics like? How many passes have you gotten through the C students that you have tutored?
So I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've always had 100% pass rate.
Okay.
I've always had 100% pass rate.
So we're talking like top schools, second choices?
Top schools, second choices, yes.
So you have had 100% pass rate?
100%. That's sticking it into that camera. Parents, 100% pass rate.
All right. Okay, so you said that you're going to introduce the late school. Now, she's also introducing the English A scholarship. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
So for me, I'm a bit of an empath.
Okay.
And I know that life can be challenging at times financially. So I've introduced the late school scholarship for two target audiences. One, for a young person who would have just finished high school, and the other scholarship would be for somebody, an older person, probably like 40s, 50s, an older person, right? So the parameters of the scholarships are, you have to be underprivileged. you have to have a genuine key interest in wanting to learn English A. You have to be committed.
When you say underprivileged, could you just highlight what underprivileged would mean?
So in this sense, underprivileged would mean like you don't have the finances to pursue the course.
All right.
That's basically what I mean by underprivileged. But the thing is, I don't choose the persons for the scholarship.
Okay.
So I leave it up to the public, to social media, to nominate persons for the scholarship.
Okay.
So, with that being said, nominate, nominate, nominate. And if you feel like you personally want to reach out to me, you can send me a private message and, you know, just explain to me, you know, why you think that you should get this scholarship and stuff like that. I am very open, I'm very understanding. So, sign up. But the deadline for the scholarship is May 30th.
All right. Okay, and who is allowed to be a part of Team Elevate? I know you mentioned, you know, Standard 4, but now you're introducing the late school. And of course, you do have the scholarship. But in terms of the invitation to the general public, who is allowed to be a part of Team Elevate?
Right. So Team Elevate comprises of 2 components. S.E.A. Creative Writing and now the late school. So S.E.A. Creative Writing for Standards 4 and 5 and the late school is specifically for adult learners.
All right. Okay, and where can we find more information on Team Elevate?
So you can find more information on Team Elevate at Aviana Alleyne on Facebook, Aviana Christie on TikTok, and Aviana Christie on Instagram.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Alleyne. Miss Aviana Alleyne, for being with us here this morning, for telling us a little bit about Team Elevate. As Aviana said, you know, this is now your chance to get back into the education mode. This is your chance to, you know, get that English A1 that you were desiring in high school. This is your time to come and get ready for the S.E.A. exam. I know it just finished. S.E.A. exams are just up, but we have S.E.A. exams happening again next year. So this is your time to get your child ready for those exams through Team Elevate. All right, and she's asking you, as the English A scholarship comes up, to nominate. I'm just repeating what Miss Alleyne says.
And Natalya, can I interject? There's also a scholarship for the S.E.A. students as well. So I try to, with every target audience that I deal with, I tend to have scholarships for them because I understand the struggle. I really do. And I empathize with parents for trying hard. And if I could make someone else's life a little bit easier, then I know that I would have done my job.
All right. So this was Miss Alleyne, very willing to share the education on to others, that which she is well versed in. She is ready to share that English A, that S.E.A. exam knowledge with you so that you will be able to pass your exams. So once again, thank you, Miss Alleyne, for being with us here this morning.
Can I just say something to the camera?
Sure, no problem.
So I just want to say, don't be dismayed by what has happened in the past. By reaching out to Team Elevate, you have showed that you are ready, that you are committed, and that you have matured. Life offers second chances. So take that second chance and go with it. Go with God and keep your head held high. Also, this is a call for corporate sponsors, B-Mobile, TSTT, Prestige Holdings. You can collaborate with Team Elevate. We are all here to, you know, help advance literacy on the island and also to help students, underprivileged students who may not have that advantage to pursue or to have that extra help when it comes to S.E.A. creative writing and language arts.
All right, good advice coming from Team Elevate. Some encouragement to some sponsors to join Team Elevate on their journey, right? So viewers who are still with us, I ask you to share the live. But before I go, I think this has become, you know, this really special time on Tobago Updates where we bring to you the picture of the day. The picture of the day, it comes from Mr. Let me get that name properly so that I give him the credit, Marvin Clark. Now, you know what we do? We show you that beautiful, picturesque area in Tobago, and you tell us where in Tobago we can go to enjoy this scenery, right? So at the end of our show, you'll just, talk to us via the live chat, make your guesses as to where this beautiful place is, this scenic place is. Thank you, Marvin Clark, for submitting your photo this morning. Thank you for our photo of the day. Viewers, it's up to you to guess the right answer, and we'll announce it at the end of our show. So again, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.